Hello everyone. How is everyone doing today? It is Wednesday. It is live at 5. You know what that means. You've got me for what I will tell you is 10 minutes, but it's probably going to be longer. Today's episode is number 20 of these live at 5s. Can you believe it? We've already done 20 episodes. I can't believe it. Today we are doing embracing self-love, its power, healing, and necessity. And in honor of that, I don't think you can really see it properly, but I am wearing a heart on my sweater. Woo! So self-love today. I myself am going through a self-love journey, so this is very, very apt for me to be doing this today with you guys. So happy 20th episode. So what is self-love? Well, most people think that it's just like, mani-pedis and bubble baths and things, but it's actually a lot more than that. And it's a lot more necessary as well. It's so necessary for everybody to have this self-worth and the self-love and the self-care. Like, you have to start loving yourself and taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, your emotions, and this also leads to your spirituality. Hi Christopher. Thank you for joining. So it's a very, very important thing to do. Now, self-love doesn't mean that you're going to go around saying that you're the best and being all self-absorbed and narcissistic and all this stuff. Not at all. It is purely about having that self-worth and that self-acceptance. It is so very, very important, and today we're going to be covering that in this episode. So all about kindness towards yourself. And as usual, I've got my notes, but let's sort of ignore those a little bit because I'm gonna waffle on about other stuff. All right, so what is the importance of doing self-care and self-love? Why would we bother to do it? There are so many benefits to it. The first and foremost is mental health. So many people struggle, especially these days, with their mental health because of the go, go, go society that we're in, because of the stress that we're constantly under. We're always being put pressure on, whether that's with work, with family or something. It is so much strain on us. We're always got our adrenals running. They're always active. We're always in that fight or flight. And we need to rest. We need to not be so hard on ourselves. We need to not push ourselves so hard, because when we do that and when we fail or we perceive ourselves as failing, we fall into depression. We get really low. We don't like ourselves because we feel like we're unworthy and we're always doing stuff wrong. And this is such a strain on our mental health. So number one, self-love for your mental health, to keep you happy, keep you in that joy. And it also then will allow your body to hear that as well, and your cells will react to that. You will be brighter and younger and more joyful from just thinking joyfulness. Okay, number two, better relationships. Now, when we love ourselves, we attract those people to us. When we don't love ourselves, or when we don't feel ourselves worthy, or we don't think that we are we're sort of lower than others, then we're going to attract those types of people towards us. That's when you get in toxic relationships and things like that, because you're almost calling those people to you because of your low self-worth. So these people will come to you, whether that's a partner or a so-called friend or a family member. They will take advantage of you if you have this low self-love, this low self-esteem. When you start to do things for yourself and start to love yourself again, then that allows you to put up boundaries, healthy boundaries with these types of people, and maybe even cut ties with them, because you know yourself more worthy to be in relationships that truly respect and love you. So better relationships. Number 3, increased emotional resilience. Now, again, like when you're not feeling like you're a good person or a worthy person, you're going to feel low, right? So when you take the time to look after yourself, then your emotions are always going to be on the high. You're always going to be in, this attracting and this abundance and this joyful mentality. And yes, you're going to have days where you do feel down, where you do need to rest, where you do need to take a day off, and that's fine. Do that. That is also part of your self-care, knowing when to retreat from the world and to go inwards and to take that day to yourself, and just binge watch your favorite TV show or sleep all day, stay in your PJs, just shut the world out. Sometimes you will need this, and this helps your mental health, this helps your emotional and everything. It's such a good thing. Then number 4 would be enhanced motivation. So when you are happy with yourself, you actually want to go out and explore and go on adventures and try new things and try things that scare you, because you've got this love for life, right? And you just want to go out and enjoy that. So it motivates you to get out of bed. It motivates you to go and try that new thing that you've been wanting to try, or that you've been too scared to and put it off, or whatever. Personal growth, number 5. Of course, when you do all these things, when you get that motivation, when you get that self-love, when you find more joy, when you're attracting people to you that are more your cheerleaders, more the people that respect you, more the people that want you to succeed and are genuinely happy for you when they see you smile, these things all help you grow. They help you with your personal growth. They help you to learn and advance. And that could be on a spiritual one as well, which is number 6. So spiritual growth is also a huge thing with self-love, because what is your soul? Your soul is love. And that might sound really corny, but it is. Your soul is pure love, and you are going back to your soul and you're going to your higher self when you do the self-love work. So, I mean, there's so many things for self-love, and I honestly would tell you to do your own self-love stuff. What self-love looks like for me is not what it's going to look like for you. So just because, you ask ChatGPT or you Google, like, tell me some self-love things that I can do, and all of them come back and you think, that's not me, I'm not enjoying that, I don't want to do that. Don't do it. Do the things that you love. So I'm going to give you some examples, but again, this is not going to be for everyone. Some of these are not even things for me either. And I will tell you some of the things that I do as well, and just find your joy. Find the things that light you up. And just also, it doesn't need to be anything big. It can be things like just getting out of bed, changing your clothes, right? Brushing your teeth or washing your face. It doesn't need to be these grand, go to have a spa day or something, or do, put on loads of makeup or whatever. It doesn't need to be anything grand. It can just literally be basics that you've maybe been neglecting because you don't have time, or you just don't feel like it. You're in not necessarily depression, but you're in that state where, well, what's the point, right? What's the point of having a shower today? Or what's the point of brushing my teeth? Or what's the point of going into clean clothes today? Brushing my hair. What's the point, right? And so just doing these little things can really help you, to get out of that funk and to start really respecting yourself. And that's all this video is about, is starting to respect yourself. And from there is love. It's like with any relationship, right? You're not going to fall, hopefully, madly in love with the first person that you see. It takes time. You have to get to know them. You have to get to know what they like, what they don't like, and build that relationship with that other person before you fall madly in love. exactly the same with yourself. Take some time to learn what it is that lights you up, and that is what you need to do on a daily basis. And again, even if it's just the small things. Anyway, waffling on, and we've already got to the 10 minutes, so we know that I'm going to go over anyway. But so mindfulness is a really, really good one, because you literally just sit there or stand there or whatever it is that you want to do, and you just quietly observe whatever thoughts come in. Observe them. Don't have judgment. Don't, try and change them or whatever. Even if they're negative, allow them to come in and just sort of question and see why and where that feels in your body. Why do you hold on to that? And if it's good stuff, great. Where do you feel that in your body? How can you anchor that in? And when you're feeling those good things, just touch your thumb and your finger together and anchor it in. That's what it's called. So anytime that you feel down, you can do this again, and it just brings back that feeling of that joy or that love or that happiness. So moving on from that would be like meditation. If you've got a little bit longer than the whole mindfulness, you can go and do some meditation, whatever that looks like for you, whether alone or in a group, a guided one on YouTube, whatever you enjoy for meditation. Light a candle, do some incense, whatever it is. Do it with crystals. Just do that meditation, and again, observe any thoughts that are coming to you. Notice what they mean to you and where they sit within your body. What kind of emotional reaction are you having to it? And just quieten the mind, and if you can, try and release it. And if you can't, well, what do you need to do to hold yourself again? And that's another good one, actually. It sounds silly, but just hug yourself. Just literally just like, take the time. It takes a few minutes. You can do it lying in bed, you can do it sitting down, wherever you are, and just hug yourself. If you want to tell yourself that you love yourself as well while you're doing that, even better. Doesn't need to be out loud, and just do that. Just feel that comfort. Tell your body that it's a good thing, and that it's a thing that you really, really love. So reflecting, self-reflection is very, very good as well. If you do anything like journaling, just try and do some journaling, like do some prompts, or just sit there and write out and see what your higher self wants to communicate with you. That's a really great one. If you're not really sure how to journal, you can Google it, or you can just reach out and ask me. I'll absolutely help you with that. Affirmations are a great one. Of course, you make up your own, but always put it in the present tense. Always, have a positive thing. So don't say, I will be happy. Say, I am happy, even if you're not. And the more that you say it, the more that you respond to it. You physically respond to that, those words. And words are extremely important. If you watched my video on April 23rd, the power of words and how they shape your reality, you already know how powerful words are. If you haven't, whichever medium you're watching this on, social media or YouTube, just go back and watch that power of words one. That's a very, very good one to get you started on things like affirmation and how your words shape your reality. So I am good, I am enough, I am worthy. All of these I am statements, very, very important. So we already said about boundaries, but boundaries is so important when you're going through your self-love. And that might just be learning how to say no to anything and anyone. If you don't want to do something, but you always say yes, try saying no. And that can be extremely hard. And you need to understand that it's protecting your energy. It's not making you a bad person to say no, or to take time for yourself, or to put up a boundary with a person that is constantly overstepping and taking too much from you. It is not a bad thing. Self-care rituals, obviously, like the bubble bath, like the mani-pedi, like the spa day, like all of these kind of things. But also things like yoga and the journaling that I mentioned before, or just going for a walk in nature, whatever it is that you enjoy, that you could make into a daily or a weekly ritual, or something where you take time for yourself to just absorb that feeling of feeling pampered, or feeling free, or feeling love and joy. And of course, gratitude is a very, very important one. Gratitude shifts your focus. So again, you don't have to actually feel grateful for anything, but if you tell yourself that you're grateful for it, you're going to start believing it, and your body's going to start believing it also. So and that could be something as simple as, I'm grateful that I got through today. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful for the air that I breathe. It doesn't need to be these grand things. If you have grand things, great. You are grateful for those. Start small, start simple. I'm grateful for my best friend. I'm grateful for my family. Whatever it is that you have in your life, that you've got something, you've at least got one thing that you can think of, I promise you, and build from there. Things like smiling at yourself in the mirror sounds ridiculous as well, but do that. Say your affirmations in the mirror. Smile and make yourself laugh in the mirror. Do all these things that are going to feel really silly at first, but you're just doing them to yourself. You're just doing them in front of yourself. You're not telling the world that you're doing it. So just try it and just see how your life changes. Of course, it's me, so I'm going to talk to you about crystals. You can wear crystals, you can have them in your pocket, you can just get a crystal that you really, really love, or that you find pretty, or you can use ones like rose quartz, which is the pretty pink one. And that one is very, very famous for being a love one, especially self-love, and it's so very gentle as well. So especially if you're new to loving yourself or love in general, the rose quartz would be a great one to start with. There's also things like carnelian for your confidence. So that's the orange one. It does look a bit brown in this light actually, but it is orange, I promise you. If you're following my chakra series, I haven't brought it out yet, but I believe it's next month will be the heart chakra one. So doing work with your heart chakra is very, very important. This is the heart chakra symbol, and it is on an aventurine. So the aventurine stone is very, very gentle as well, like the rose quartz, can be very, very comforting and help you as well. Pink tourmaline, kunzite, rhodonite, all of those kind of stones are really, really good for your self-love journey. Now, this one's a big one. You don't have to do any of these, as I said, but forgiveness is such a big one. Now, forgiveness is very misunderstood. Forgiveness is important because you don't have to go out and forgive the person or people who have hurt you. They never need to know. You need to get to a point where you have released that pain in yourself. And again, they never need to know. And you're not forgiving them for their validation. You are forgiving them for your peace, for your soul to just relax, to just breathe again. And also forgiveness for yourself. Forgive yourself for the little things that you did and the big things that you did. Anything that you feel that you did wrong, and any missed opportunities, anything where you thought that you were stupid, or you know, you hated yourself. Forgive. And that's going to take a lot of energy to do, and a lot of time to do. And so be very, very gentle with yourself, or however you want to do the forgiveness. But it's so very important. If you can do it, I highly encourage you to do the forgiveness. And of course, seeking support. If you have a community or a friend or anybody around you that can be a support to you, a cheerleader for you, then that is awesome, and utilize them. Yeah, have them in your life and give them hugs and tell them that you love them, and build up that. If you don't, there are so many things like social media. There are so many groups that you can join where you can find like-minded people or people who are also going through anything that you're going through, that maybe you could find a support system there. There's also obviously things like the therapy, like talking therapies and stuff like that, where you could actually talk to a professional. I love when you can actually find people in your life, because with a therapist, you're kind of paying them, right? But at least you know when you've got friends, or when you've got family, when you've got even animals, like if you've got a pet, have them as your support system. You know that these people have unconditional love for you, and that can help you get unconditional love for yourself. And yeah, there's also like loads of apps and things out there as well. They sound ridiculous, but they're like, if you remember, if you're as old as me and you remember things like Tamagotchis and stuff, where it was this little robotic thing that you carried around on a keychain, and you had to keep this little pet thing alive by like feeding it, giving it water and stuff. But they have these apps now, which is very similar and a lot more advanced than when I was a kid, where you put in your self-love goals. Again, even if it's just getting out of bed, washing your clothes, brushing your teeth, whatever it is, or bigger stuff. And it has all of these affirmations and ideas for goals. They have breathing stuff on there, teaching you how to breathe through anxiety or stress, or just calm, or whatever it is. And you can definitely find things like that as well that really, really do weirdly help with any self-love stuff, getting back into that momentum. All right, so I've waffled on for quite a while, so let's wrap this up. I would love you all to attend a upcoming workshop that I am doing next week. It's actually next Wednesday, the 28th for those in North America, Europe, 29th for those sort of Australia way. I'm actually doing 2 time slots. They're exactly the same meditation, but it's a meditation in the Akashic Records. It's a group one. If you know about the Akashic Records, great. If you don't, that's something that I do. It was actually the first ever Live at 5 video that I did all the way back in January the 8th. So go back and watch that very first video if you'd like to know more about the Akashic Records, or just reach out and say, what the hell are the Akashic Records, Becca, and I will tell you. But yeah, so we're doing these 2 time slots. It is 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 Eastern Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Sort of London time, GMT. And the second slot is at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the following day in Australia, which is the 29th. I'm going to put all this in the comments or the description. And so that is 10 a.m. on the west side of Australia and noon on the east side of Australia, if that helps with that. So I would love to invite all of you. It is absolutely free. I am not going to try and sell you anything at the end. It's just a self-love group meditation online in the Akashic Records. I would absolutely love if you would all attend. So just grab your ticket and come join us next week. Oh, Chris, thank you so much. Yeah, self-love is so important, and great video. Sarah loved her Akashic readings with you. Oh, yes, I love doing that with her. Big healing. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Christopher. And I will see you next week as well for your one. So thank you all for joining me today and listening to self-love. If you have any questions about self-love, please do reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. Likewise, if there's anything else that I do that you have questions about, if you have any ideas or requests for other Live at Fives, please do let me know. Next week we are doing Oracle Cards 101. I did do a difference between Oracle cards and tarot cards back in January, but next week is going to be Oracle cards, just Oracle Cards 101. It's a beginner's guide to reading them with ease. So if you want to know a little bit more about Oracle cards and where to get started and how to read them better, please do join me next week live at 5 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so you are worthy of love and respect. Promise you, everybody is. And it's not just from others, it's from yourself. That is the most important, even if, and you will never have this, but even if it's only you in your whole life that ever loves you, that is the most important. And I guarantee you there are so many people that you don't even know necessarily that love you. So with that, I wish you so much luck and love with your self-healing and your self-love journey. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I will see you next week. Mwah.